I'm telling you, baby mama drama will have you depressed and all of that if you care. This is a message to every real man out there. If you're a real man and you doing the best you can, don't let that woman stress you out. If you're a woman and you doing the best you can, don't let that man stress you out. Let them just talk about whatever they talk about, bunk them and everybody else. It is what it is. Cause I'm telling you, my big mother called me today. Her name T. I ain't gonna tell you her whole name because she not even that special. You know what I mean? The only thing that makes her anything is the fact that she has kids. Cause some kids are blessings. She is a curse. Cause every time I think about her, I want to curse. But I'm not gonna curse this time. I'm gonna try to control myself today. So I goes to take my you know friend to the airport. So I park. Phone call coming. Friend like answer that. I'm like I don't know who it is. She like it could be my friend calling to see if I'm at the airport or not. So I answer the phone. It's not our friend because we share the same mutual friend she talking about. It is my baby mother. So now I'm like, here it comes. Best friend looking at me like, oh, she sound a little upset because she like, I got a question for you. I'm like, what's the question? She like, where's the rest of my daughter's stuff and why is she missing all these assignments? I said, stuff, assignments. I said, as far as the assignments is concerned, you know what I mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Like at the end of the day, like as far as I know, she was caught up in all her assignments. She's like, oh no, she not. She missing 53 assignments. I said, well, when you dropped her off, you know what I mean. You didn't. You told me that she was missing assignments. She said, oh, well, I. That's not the point. Like she ain't had no 53 assignments. I'm like, well, like what are you talking about? And I said, what stuff? She like, oh, all her stuff ain't here. She ain't got nothing here. She ain't got no stuff. I said, well, when I dropped her off to your mother and your cousin Teeny, I dropped her off with all her stuff like you said. She like I said. I said, yeah, like you said, cause you the one that got mad at me and said you taking my daughter back. She said, oh, because I'm not going through this back and forth with you. I said, back and forth. I said, first of all, you know what I mean? Ain't no back and forth. I'm just going by your orders. I asked you, could I leave our daughter with Teeny? You said no. You said we are co-parenting. So whenever I have to go do something, to drop her off to you. And that's what I did. I didn't know that I was gonna have to bring all my daughter's stuff because you was gonna be in your film. She said, "Oh no, that's because you just wanna go do what you wanna do or whatever. Going with this one, you wanna bring this one back and come there." I'm like, first of all, you don't know what the hell I was doing when I went to go handle my business. She said, "You're right, I don't. So what the hell is you talking about?" She's like, "It doesn't matter. Why couldn't you take your daughter with me?" I said, because I couldn't. And as far as I know, the reason why I felt like I didn't have to anyway is because you said that you would be there. And I said, like, I don't even know what you mad for. Like, what is you talking about? Like, oh, you ain't even have her for 30 days. I'm like, who fault is that? She like, oh, it's your fault. I said, no, it's not. I said, you told me that we were co-parenting. I said, so I dropped our daughter off, the one that I'm paying child support for and taking care of, the one I sat up here and bought this fucking bump bed for because that's what she wanted. You know what I mean? Got a lights, I got a TV, man. Everything, how she wanted her room is how this room look. So I'm like, okay. So you telling me like I was just going to give her back? You wanted her back? Like all I said was, "Are you gonna watch her for these 5 days?" You told me. She told me. I guess I don't have a choice. So I said, "All right." So I'm gonna drop her off to your mother house. You can pick her up from there. You know what I mean? And then she gonna text me back when you drop her off. Drop off all her stuff. I said, for what? She said, cause she not going with this back and forth, blah 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 blah. So I'm not arguing with you. Like, what man on earth gonna take their child on their baby mother's word, knowing their baby mother is shisty and shady as hell? Like, I was doing that out of the love of my daughter. Like, I'm gonna try this out just to see if this is all I need to do to get some respect from this woman. And it just wasn't enough. I don't know what I gotta do. She popping all this mess, talking about all this BS. I said, yo, you the one that said drop all her stuff off. I said I was going to be going from the 15th to the 22nd. You said drop all her stuff off. So I did what you said. And your mother and your cousin knows where her stuff at, because that's where I dropped it off to. Why am I going to go talk to them? Why I got to talk to them? You the father. You the father. As a matter of fact, I don't know why, because you ain't no good father. You ain't no father. My daughter trying to talk to me. She like, don't say nothing to him. He ain't your daddy. I'm your dad. I said, if you the father, why are you calling me? Because it sounds like you mad at the father. She said, that's besides the point. Where's all her clothes? I said, first of all, when you dropped her off, you only dropped off with one bag. She over there told me something. I had to walk through the snow to drop her off. I said, no, you didn't. You dropped her off in the car, because right from when you dropped her off, you was in New York doing your thing, whatever you was doing, going to have fun. So I don't understand why you coming for me. Oh, that's what you was doing. You took her to you ain't want to go bring her with you because you want to do what you wanted to do. I said, you got me mixed up with you. I went and got money. You went and now you're broke, and then you're mad, and then you looking at you at the wrong person. Like, you ain't take neither one of your kids when you left to go to New York. So who is you talking to? Like, you're not making no sense. Like, you're talking about me being a father. You should be a mother. You was more worried about turning up for the New Year's than turning up with your kids that you had, that you pushed out. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it didn't make no sense. Like, she was really trying to come for me. And I was catching and throwing it right back in her face. Like, you can't get mad at me because I didn't have my daughter for 30 days, because when I told you to hold her for a couple of days or several days, or however you want to put it, you told me to drop her off with all of her things. I have no control over the situation because you're the custodial parent. Our agreement was on a me and you basis. It wasn't by law. So technically, you know what I mean, being that you're the custodial parent, you did this to yourself. Why are you mad at me? She's like, oh, you ain't nothing. You ain't no real father. All you ever got her was 9 things. I said, that's why she's missing assignments. Because she got a dumbass mother like you. Like, she can't count. How would I have a child? Like, I've been paying child support for her since she was born. How could I only do 9 things? You getting child support every month is more than 9 months in a damn year. It's more than 9. It's more months. More than 9 months than 5 years. How about that? Like, it's been 5 years. You know what I mean? If I only did 9 things for her, and I've been paying child support since she was born, and she's 5 years old, you're not making no sense. Like, it's not all adding up. She's like, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with it. That's something you have to do. That's something the father does. She said, oh, I can't wait to get the course done. Because when I get finished, you're not going to have no custody. Like, I'm getting you off. You are going off. You're not going to be able to do anything. I'm laughing because, first of all, what is your broke ass going to do? like you struggling as it is. Like, there's roaches in the house struggling. The roaches struggle with you, the mice struggle with you, and you struggle with the roaches and the mice. Like, my daughter don't have no mice or roach issues here. She not gonna go to my sister house smelling like cigarettes and smoke and weed and shit like that. Like imagine you picking your child up from your baby mother house and your child smells like cigarettes and marijuana. And this female thinks it's okay to come for me. It is hilarious. One thing I could give my other baby mothers is I would never have to worry about my kids going to the doctors. Cause I was confused, like, what are you talking about? Like, you wouldn't give me her birth certificate, her social security card, or her Medicaid card. Like, how's you mad at me? Cause the reason why you said you ain't give me that is because that you still gonna be her parent too. We are raising her together. So if I need to go somewhere and we're raising her together, like you said, then you shouldn't have no problem with taking her for a couple of days. But you like drop her off and all of her stuff. And I'm like, okay. I don't know why you think I'm going to let you make me feel like I'm doing something wrong when I'm doing everything right. It's impossible. Now I got on these assignments. I said, when you dropped her off, you only dropped her off with one bag anyway. And in that bag, it was like 4 or 5 outfits. And only 3 of them was wearable due to the weather. And all 3 of them outfits that was wearable were the outfits I bought her. They still got the tags and stuff on it. Because one day when my sister had got my daughter, I still got the pictures on Facebook to prove it. When you dropped her off, and my sister like, Holly, go get your daughter some clothes. I'm like, what happened, sis? She like, Holly, your daughter, she can't fit none of her jeans. Like, they high waters. Like, they rising way past her ankles. Like, I said, what? Let me come over there. I see my daughter. I see her clothes. I'm in distress. I'm like, yo, why didn't she call me and tell me that my daughter need clothes? Because I'm really that type of father. You say my daughter at the hospital, doctors need you, I'm there. My daughter need this. My son need, your son need this. I got it. If it ain't that important, I might not get it that fast. Like, I still gotta get my son this cover for his, his tablet. Or whatever the case may be. But I'm on some more, all right, he'll get that whenever I get to it. You know what I mean? I keep forgetting about it. But, it's crazy. But I'm like, you only dropped off this one little bag. I had to come back to the house to get more stuff. You know what I mean? And still only got 2 more outfits. Because you said, oh, we co-parenting. Remember? So she needs stuff at your house because you're going to be taking her. Which still makes everything that you say not make any sense. Because if I was only dropping off for a couple of days, it shouldn't have been no problem because that's what you said. It's not a problem. You going to be taking her for day and I'm going to be taking her for day. It is what it is. And I'm like, okay, fine. But it wasn't like you said. It's like females, they make up these lies. Like they put on a show for everybody, but they really not. They're playing the part. Like it's not even an act. Like it's all talk. It's like they speak a good game. It's like when you hear somebody talking about, yo, I beat this person ass, I'm tough as hell, they ain't gonna do nothing, and then when they get around that person, it's a whole different story. Like, hey, the person that just slapped you is the same person you said could never slap you. Come on, make this make sense, bro. Like, go back, get the time machine, go back and fix this, cause something ain't right. Like, that's what she need to do. Get a time machine and go back and fix what she said to me initially, because initially she basically told me this would not be a problem. You know what I mean? But then she gonna make a problem out of something that is not really a problem. You already agreed to this. I agreed to it. You know what I mean? She bugging. Talking about, oh, your daughter got all her stuff at your house. So the only thing that's at this house right now is them snacks. Like, my daughter wasn't getting no snacks because her mouth is full of cavities. My sister and my mother hitting me and telling me like, Khalid, daughter, you gotta take her to the doctors. She got a mouth full of cavities. I'm telling them I can't. I tried, but this female sitting over here telling me that she has the Medicaid card, birth certificate, Social Security card, because that's the thing she's gonna be doing. Going down, I'm like, yo, so why you ain't give me all that stuff? She's told me. Why am I? Why am I the one making all the sacrifices? Why can't you go buy it? Buy what? The birth certificate and the Social Security card, and go get the Medicaid card. Like put it on your medical plan or something like that. I'm like, the fuck is you? What is you talking about? Like you're not making no sense. Why is you trying? Like if we working together, why is you trying to make it harder for me? Like you're not making no sense right now. Like see, this is why I just let you just take it back, because you're not making no sense. I mean, my daughter again trying to say, "Hey, daddy, daddy, daddy." She said, "That ain't your father. I'm your father." And once again, I said, "If I'm not the father, why are you calling me? Argue with yourself." I mean, because I don't want to argue with you. She talking about, oh, she hope the court's open. She gonna take all my rights away, and I'm like, you can try, but as long as you're broke ass on welfare, you can't do none of that. Just so you know, your baby mother can't just take all your rights away. Like she can't stop you from paying child support or any of that if she's on welfare. She has to be self-sufficient. And I ain't never got to worry about that from none of them. So I'm gonna be on child support till my kid's 18. So oh wait. To be honest, I have a couple of baby mothers, I'm proud to say, that don't have me on child support, but I do take care of my kids on my own. Cause child support never had to ever been a factor. But you know how females are. They shiesty, they funny, they like to live this storybook lifestyle, like they put themselves in the movies, like, yo, I go through the same thing with my baby father. No, actually you're an actor. You really don't go through none of that. But being that you don't know how to be anything other than the sheep, here we are. So she amping, she trying to drill me. She like, day 53 assignments. I said, first of all, as far as these assignments is concerned, when I picked her up, she was already missing assignments. Maybe the reason why she ain't get caught up in all her assignments is because they was too busy trying to catch up from all of the ones that she was already missing. Like, from what I heard, there was one class that she ain't have no assignments done since she been in school. So, with that being said, whoever, my mother and Teeny, they had a lot on their hands as far as catching up with assignments. Now I said, you're not making no sense once again. She said, I said, so tell me this. If I only had her from the 29th of December to the 15th of January, because I dropped her off to your mother house, why are you mad at me talking about she missing a whole bunch of assignments? I said, how many assignments she missing? She said 53. I said, oh, you the one that said I didn't even have her for 30 days. So how the hell is she missing 53 assignments? How is this my fault? She said, oh, you ain't no father. I said, look, listen. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? You had her from the 22nd, because I paid your mother to watch her from the 15th to the 22nd. So technically, you didn't have to get all her stuff back. But being that you said that's what you wanted me to do, drop all that stuff at your mother's house, that's what you called called me and told me while I was at the place with your mother and them. That's what I did. So since you had it since the 22nd, and now it's the 4th, why are you calling me now? Did you just notice she was missing assignments? You know what I mean? Like, if you work with your child every day as far as classes is concerned, you know what I mean, in the 53rd day, like not the 53rd, like on the first day when you go to work with your child and her schoolwork, the minute you realize she's missing like 53 assignments, you're gonna get on a person, right? But you're not gonna tell me all 53 assignments she acquired while she was with me for less than 30 days. Like, you're not making no sense. You're like, oh, she missing 2 assignments here, 3 assignments on this day. They not back to back. So at the end of the day, if this really is the case, it's still not all my fault. If you want to put it there, so you should be asking yourself why you're doing that. I said, instead of arguing with me because I'm so called not the father, why don't you just fix it? Why don't you just go through those assignments well? Instead of calling me, like, arguing with me about the situation, ain't gonna get those 53 assignments done. So I just let her argue with whoever the hell she was arguing with, because I ain't the father. Talking to my best friend, like, yo, what we gonna do? Because, you know what I mean? Hurry up. She's like, I'm waiting for, what's the name, to get here to the airport so we can go. I'm like, oh, God, like, I just want you out of my car so I can stop. You know what I mean? So I go about my business, try to get my mind straight, because right now I'm just everywhere, because I'm just like, yo, pissed off. Like, nobody wants to deal with this BS. So she's still arguing and BSing, and then the phone hangs up. So I'm like, finally. Because I knew she was mad, she upset, you know what I mean? I want to be a social worker, I want to help people. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, you can help somebody by letting them just get off whatever they got on their chest. And I just let her talk and say whatever she wanted to say. I just knew she sounded stupid. Like, you can't come for me as far as my child's clothes is concerned, because the boots that she had on, the jacket that she was wearing, the pants, the shirt, the panties, the socks, I bought that. I bought that while I was on child support. I do that for any child that I have if they need anything from me. So you can't take nothing from me as far as me being a father. You can say I'm not the father that you imagine me to be, but at the same time, it's just your imagination of a father that's holding you back. Like, what your imagination holds, it holds no weight, because this is reality. Your imagination has no fucking say here. This is the real world. Like, you can sit up here and imagine what your baby father was going to be like, but you had to make sure you put in the effort to get that baby father. You can't just be fucking your friends or random other, like, and just be like on some old, like, oh, you know what, I'm pregnant by you, I'm keeping the baby, like, and expect everything to go through. Like, I actually heard her talking about, oh, y'all niggas ain't ish. Y'all men ain't nothing. Y'all just sit up here, woo, y'all don't do nothing for these kids. Because she has a child by another man. How is he going to do anything for that child and he's locked up? And how is it his fault that you kept his child when you thought it was somebody else's child? And at the end of that, like, on top of that, you mad at him because he can't help you take care of a child, but you out here messing around with people who are not the type of people to take care of kids. They like to hustle. So when you have a child by somebody who like to dedicate their life to the streets, then you put your child in the same situation. You said you don't even care if this child's father lives to see tomorrow because you infatuated with the father. You know what I mean? Y'all females don't be making no sense. Like, it's not, like, I ain't gonna put down the homies, cause y'all females stupid. Like, he a man. He the type of man he is. So if you sit up there and you invest your time and energy in that man, that's what you get. I ain't invest none of my time and effort in these females. All I invested was dick. And this is what I get in return. Bitch, I gave you a good time. You screaming, you came, why are we here? Like, you mad at me for what? You mad at me for what? Because I sat up there and I did the best I could. I did the best I could. She started riffing, raffing at me. Oh, you could do better. No, you can do better. You go get a career, a car, and a house. Then tell me what I can do. While on child support, paying child support and taking care of your kids that's not on child support and taking care of everything else that they need from you, that's like some valid reason, like you really need, like, oh, they need food or something like that. I'm out here paying rent and I ain't even had no place to stay. I'm doing all these things for these people who try to put me down. And that's crazy. But they don't have no man in their life that can compare to me. But you can't like put me down. Like even if your brother, like your brother, say one of them, because they got brothers, like they baby fathers and stuff like that. They with a real woman, yeah, because that real woman can hold them down. That woman ain't you. I bet you the woman that they're with ain't on child. They got their man on child support. They don't even have. They got their own job, their own career. They pay their own bills. They not on Section 8 or welfare or none of that. They handling that together. When you see the sacrifice another person put is going through, like when they putting all that energy, you can better relate to that person. But when you on welfare and stuff, and you talking to a person who got to grind every day to get what they got, nobody's handing them nothing. You don't even know how that person is really coming because you don't even understand that person. All you just understand that you think everything's supposed to be given to you, like everything's supposed to just fall into your lap or into your hands or something like that. That's not how life works. But because they got you messed up in the head with this welfare, child support, Section 8, and housing, you think that you lucking up like everything is coming through for you when really it's a handicap because it prevents you from going any further. But you don't understand that. You want to sit up here and you want to try to talk to somebody who big. Like whenever you sit up here, you got to pay all this child support. You got to take care of all these kids and yourself. You got to get your apartment. Like you can sit up here and out of nowhere. Like I ain't have to ask my mother to buy this bed. I had to ask my mother to buy that lamp. I had to ask my mother to buy that TV. All this for my daughter. And like, is you crazy? I ain't had no help while I had all these other kids. And I pay this rent by myself. I don't have welfare helping me. I don't have child support. I don't have Section 8. I don't have housing, but I do have affordable housing. My rent is only $10.83. But every month while I'm on child support, taking care of my kids that I can see and do for, and paying bills and eating and all that stuff, I still pay this rent. So at the end of the day, when you could come out your pocket and pay $10.83 on your own and take care of all your other expenses on your own, then we could talk. Until then, you can't even talk to me. You don't even make no sense. You're not even on the level of a real person to even talk to me, to be talking about real. Like you can't talk about a man and you're not even a woman. You're a whole child because a child needs somebody to take care of them. Nobody's taking care of me. I take care of me. You understand? Like how you really want to come for me? Like that's the crazy part. Like I'm just tired, yo. Tired. It is what it is, though.